All right, what's up, sports board game fans? Anthony with Bleacher Bum Gaming, and back from our little trip to Europe, which was absolutely awesome. And back in the game lab for the beginning of beta testing for Glory Days Professional Football. And these currently the cards have been tweaked a little bit since I first unveiled this a month or so ago. So we're gonna, before we start the game, and by the way, this is the all-time great team set, or from the all-time great team set, which will come with the base game when it's released. So let's first of all go over the cards and some of the changes and differences from the original version. Overall, the engine is the same. There's been some additions, and we'll start here on the game charts. Big Play 1 and Big Play 2 are no longer relevant. There's a single Big Play, basically a chart for this game, or this version, I should say, version 2. And so the second Big Play column has been replaced by the Drive Kill column. And what that is when you roll in that area, you will check the team's penalty rating. And if a penalty is incurred, it is said to kill the drive, and you will roll here on the punt kick column on the drive chart, and the drive will end there due to the penalty. If a defensive penalty is incurred, you will roll the drive normally and then add 5 yards onto the end of the drive based on the defensive penalty. Going down, drive chart is the same. And then, of course, the addition of the play-by-play chart as well as the big play charts. And some additions here. There is a singular stuff chart, which teams are rated against. There is now a big play kickoff return and big play punt return chart. A big play coverage chart, which comes into play on both kickoffs and punts. For punts, you run this yardage when a big play comes up from the spot of the catch. And for a kickoff big play coverage, it is from the 15-yard line, and then adjust here. Also, big play interception and big play fumble and blocked kick. So those are new additions. Again, this was all contained on the original team cards, and these actual big play punt return and fumble were on the team charts, under team charts for when they came up. So new additions there. Going back to the play-by-play, the trench control battle, which will show you the differences in that in just a sec. So here, when the offense wins, you go off the offense wins trench control, pass and run. That's when you're going to get the opportunity to have big plays. And then if it's a stalemate or defense wins trench control, you use these charts on the bottom. And you see the potential fumble here. That only is going to occur when defense wins trench control on a stalemate. You ignore that. And that is basically it. The game chart, and it's here on the video, but on the game chart, basically the same for kickoff, kickoff return, punt return, penalties same. Changed the field format. I found one that I liked that fit. And then added, versus the team charts, the big play charts here for interception, fumble, and blocked kick return. And I apologize, I'm getting over a cold, so sorry for that. So let's go to the team cards now. Now, again, the original design, I wanted to mirror the boxing game and in keeping charts to a minimum. And it really just was not an effective tool in terms of rating. And it really, I never really felt it had the smooth game flow that I was really going for. So at the compromise of adding a couple of charts, which actually, doesn't take too much away from the game in terms of play space, I condensed the team cards, added some things, and updated the trench control rolls to mirror Glory Days boxing, which I think has proven to work fairly well. And I think the previous way I did trench control just again ended up with the player having to look too many places, get off the team card, and kind of slowed the game down a little bit. So let's go over the cards. Drive, and up here you see 1972 Miami and 2000 Baltimore. So the drive offense and drive defense, same as version 1. This is for hybrid only, where you simulate the portion of the drive to get into plus territory. And then if you're playing quick play, you would use the second drive ratings here. And we'll be doing this demo in hybrid. Goal line ratings are the same. And again, this only comes into play with quick play as well. When a drive stalls at the 10-yard line or closer, you will get one more D20 roll to see if you can punch it in or have to settle for a field goal attempt. And the way this works, just like the version 1 game, you take the team's goal line rating minus the defensive adjustment rating. So Miami, if they stalled inside the 10 and we were playing quick play, 1 to 5 would get it in, and 6 to 20 would result in a field goal attempt. Penalties are the same. Excuse me again. Penalties are the same. Now the trench control, this is where it is different. And you see here, number of drives. And I want to stop here. I'm also working on something to add to the Excel helper that does actual timing. I'm just trying to get the appearance to work with a clock formula versus fractions. So that is still in progress. But the standard way for timing will be just like version 1, where you add up the total drives. So 9 and 10, there will be 19 drives in this game, 9 in the first half, 10 in the second. Trench control, again, has changed to match Glory Days boxing. Sorry. And then quick play, run, and pass touchdowns added here, same as the original. Special teams ratings are the same. Now, the one thing that I think will make a big difference in version 2 is the addition of this new play calling matrix, which you go by the down and distance situation. And if it's fourth down, you would use the appropriate third down column. If you were in a 2-minute drill, you would use the 3rd and 6 plus. And that way, down and distance, you roll the D20. That tells you who the ball carrier or targeted receiver is, and resolve the play from there. And again, I think makes the gameplay just a little bit smoother. Going down here, passing, offense, stalemate, and then the defense for both pass and run when defense wins trench control. So the way this works, you'll see it has a complete, incomplete range, self-explanatory. Now these blue columns, just like the original, that means potential sack. Now you will see the difference here. If an offensive trench control win occurs, if a sack is not recorded, it will be a completed pass. And on a stalemate, it would be incomplete. And the reasoning for that, the rating logic, this buys the passer just enough time to make an accurate throw where here he's hurried and the incompletion is forced. Going down to pass defense, again, complete, incomplete, and then 7, which is a potential sack, is going to be a completion if no sack is recorded. 8 and 9, potential sack, potential interception, respectively, will be incomplete if the sack or pick is not recorded. Big play fumble and big play interception ratings here for the team. Run defense, 0 to 7, that's the column you would use on the run chart. And if it's 8 or 9, it's a stuff, and you would then roll on the appropriate stuff chart here that each team is rated for. Fumble, interception, and sacks, the exact same. And run offense, this is for hybrid, for automatic distribution of stats. And then run defense adjustment to the other team's run yardage per carry. Kicking, basically the same thing. I've condensed the 0 to 19 field into a single 0 to 29 instead of 20 to 29, which in modern football you're not really going to have any or hardly any. Well, actually, with the goalpost back, you won't have any 0 to 19-yard field goals, so no point leaving that there. And finally, actually you could have some, but comes out fine in terms of the ratings. So that's basically it. So a lot of similarities. The game engine basically is the same, only instead of looking on cards for results, you're going to look on the play-by-play charts. So I'm going to get a cough drop, and then we'll talk about this matchup today and some things to look for. So be right back. All right, back. So let's talk about this matchup. This basically, the teams rated so far, these are probably two of the better defensive teams, and especially Baltimore. So you'll see here throughout this set, because things are neutralized in terms of ratings, basically 10 is as high as the drive ratings are going to get. The exception for a very few number of teams, either offensively or defensively, they will get an 11, and you could basically equate that to the talent factor in the college game, where when teams have, in this case, an exceptional defensive year, which Baltimore did, they get that extra boost. So I guess you could think of that as the spinal tap adjustment. These go to 11, and look at it that way. So again, Baltimore will get this. I haven't rated 85 Chicago yet. I am 100% sure they'll get an 11 as well. One of the New England teams, for example, has an 11 on the drive offense. So the thing to look for here, Miami has a very potent running game, and Baltimore is as good as you can get both against the run and against the pass. So it will be a matter of Miami being able to get their running game going against Baltimore's very stingy run defense. Conversely, Miami has a very good pass defense, and again, this is rated comparative to the season that they come from. And run defense, surprisingly, is a little shaky for the Dolphins, so that might be an area that Baltimore can make some hay in, as they have a decent run offense. Not as good as Miami's, but close. The big difference in terms of the running game, Miami, of course, averaged 4.8 a carry in 1972. So behind the triple threat or the three-headed monster of Zonka, Mercury Morris, and Jim Kick. And Baltimore will rely primarily on Jamal Lewis to carry the bulk of their rushing load. Looking at the quarterbacks, now this is something new as well. So you'll see here both these teams have two quarterbacks listed. And reason for this is, unless a team primarily used a single quarterback, I wanted to give the option to basically roll to see who your starter would be. So we'll go ahead and do that. For the Dolphins, their starter is going to be Bob Greasy for this game, and Ravens is going to be Trent Dilfer. So this kind of neutralized when teams split snaps, like Banks and Dilfer were 50-50 in terms of games started. This gives just a little extra, I guess, sense of realism where you get to use the actual quarterback. And then the percentage adjustments here, which come into play on hybrid, are rated for how the entire quarterback cadre on the team performed. So that is an addition as well. And beyond that, the turnovers, found that interesting. Both these teams were very good at taking the ball away. So you'll see Baltimore, they have a +9 to a fumble roll defensive adjustment. Now, Miami is 1 to 11 if a potential fumble comes up. So again, the rule is you cannot go any lower than 1 on any of these fumble, interception, or sacks, and you cannot go any higher than 19. So if Miami has a potential fumble, they're going to be 1 to 19. A potential pick is going to be 1 to 14, and a potential sack is reduced to 1 to 9. For Baltimore, a potential fumble. Miami is also pretty good at stripping the ball. Goes to 1 to 10. Interception goes to 1 to 18, and sacks go to 1 to 12. So the thing to really watch in this game is going to be the turnover battle. Both teams again very adept at taking it away. So whoever takes care of the ball the best will have the upper hand in this game for sure, because interceptions for Baltimore and fumbles for Miami are almost an assured turnover. So with that said, let's get the game going. Again, 9 possessions in the first half. And Miami will be receiving the opening kickoff. Baltimore the second half kickoff. So here we go. All right. Again, slow. It works the same as the original version of the game. So no penalties on the special teams. And then 9 on the kickoff. Miami's kickoff is a C. And 9C, that is going to be down to the 10-yard line. So Baltimore will return it from there, and Baltimore's return is a B. And the second 10-sided die is a 6. So 6B, that is going to be an 18-yard kickoff return, so they take over at the 28-yard line, and we'll go into the hybrid portion of the drive. All right, so this is where Baltimore, of all the teams in the set, this is probably going to be the weakest at this stage, depending on, I could maybe find someone else close, but I think they're probably going to project as the weakest offensive team here, as again, they relied on their defense, and that's why they got that little bump. So they're a 5. Miami's drive defense is a 10. So they're going to roll -5 on the drive chart. So they need 47 to 78 to have a successful drive, and 80, that is still actually going to work out good. That is going to be a big play for the Ravens. So big play, and you get the ball carrier using the second, and of course this will all be in the rules, the second down column. So 18, that is going to be a big play to Jamal Lewis, and Jamal Lewis is rated an L. So you'll go to the big play chart. Roll a D10 for the big play. So 4L on the big play passing chart, and that is going to be a 24-yard gain. So that gets it into plus territory, and we're going to jump into play-by-play mode there. So 1st and 10 at the Miami 48-yard line, and again, we'll go through a little bit slower here. And I'll start by rolling the dice individually. 5. So first down for the Ravens. 5 is going to be a rushing attempt. And Jamal Lewis will be the ball carrier. He had that big play swing pass out of the backfield. And then we will roll trench control. And again, I will, once we get going, roll all the dice at once. So red, run offense is a slash, and run defense, that's going to be a win for the defense. And generally, you only need one of the 10-sided dice. So 8, not this time though, it's going to be a stuff. So go to the C stuff chart. And roll a 5, that's going to be -3 and a possible fumble. So Baltimore started great, second play not so much. And again, Baltimore's fumble rating is 1 to 10 with the Miami adjustment, and that ball is turned over. So Dolphins are going to take over 1st and 10, and they'll go straight into play-by-play mode. And they're going to take over on the Baltimore 49, so just inside of enemy territory. All right, rolling all dice now, and 8 on 1st down. You know it's going to be a run, and this is going to be Mercury Morris as the ball carrier. 6s, that is going to be 1 star versus 1 star here, as you can see. So stalemate occurs on the running play. And going to the stalemate chart, Mercury Morris a roll of 2. And back to the play-by-play charts. Stalemate chart here, and Morris rating is an F. So F2, and that is actually still going to be a 7-yard gain for Mercury Morris, so down to the 42-yard line. 2nd down and 3. So that Miami offensive line opening a hole here early on. 2nd down. And 2nd down, play call 13, and that is going to be a Jim Kick. So he's going to go off tackle. And this is going to be a defensive win, as again, 1 star for Miami and 2 stars for Baltimore on the trench control. So 3 and 3, that is going to go to N, Baltimore's run defense column. And finally a roll of 3 again, and that's still going to be a 3-yard gain. That's about as good as you can get there. So that is going to be enough for a 1st down to the 39, 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. And Miami, they will ride this. Bob Greasy barks the signals. And 7, it's going to go to Larry Zonka on 1st down. And 2 and 1, this is going to be another stalemate. So Larry Zonka also an F, and a roll of 6. 6F, and that is going to be an 8-yard gain. I'm sorry. That was on the offense trench control run. 4-yard gain for Larry Zonka as he pounds it down to the 35. 2nd down and 6. Greasy calls the play in the huddle, and it's going to go to Zonka again on 2nd down. Trench control here, 2 stars versus 2 stars, another stalemate, and Larry Zonka, 6F. It's going to be another 4-yard gain. It's going to make it 3rd down and 2. Now, in this situation, and I obviously haven't color-coded Baltimore's chart completely. This works the same as the original version. So 3rd down and short, you'll see yellow here saying with 3rd and long passing. If this is a run play and Miami runs the ball 19 times out of 20 on the D20 roll on 3rd and 1 to 2. So this yellow means you are going to add 1 to the trench control roll, and the green means you subtract 1 from the trench control roll, which gives you an opportunity to lose or gain stars. So here we go, 3rd and 2, and watch me roll a 20 now. Nope. 12 on 3rd and 2, that's going to be Mercury Morris, and they try and get Mercury Morris outside. 6s, it is a stalemate. And 8 stalemate on F is going to be a 3-yard gain. So Morris fights ahead and just gets the 1st down to the 28. And Miami moving the ball, 1st and 10. Baltimore's defense needs to stiffen up here. It's going to be another run play to Larry Zonka, and they're riding the big man early. 4 and 1, 2 stars, 2 stars, another stalemate. So 2F, and that's going to be a 7-yard gain for Zonka down to the 21-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Miami yet to throw a pass. 2nd and 3 and 19, and they're going to, just as I say that, they're going to put it up now. This is a pass going to be intended for Stowe. And Miami's pass offense a little weaker. 1 star there against 2 stars, so that is a defensive win. Unfortunately, though, that 1 is within a completion range. That's going to be complete to Stowe. And then 2, Stowe is rated a D. So D on the pass game here, and a roll of 2. And he is Miami's big play receiver. That is going to be a 21-yard gain. And that is going to get it down to the 1-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 1. Bob Greasy to Stowe, and Miami looking to take an early lead in this one. 8, they're going to try Mercury Morris here on the first attempt at the goal line. 1 star and 1 star are going to be yet another stalemate, and 5F. That is going to be enough as Morris plunges in, and Dolphins cut through the vaunted Ravens defense and take an early lead. Extra point is up and good. It is 7-0. And this will be the last drive of the first quarter. All right, so Miami kicks it off, and again, their kickoff is C, 7C, and that is going to go down to the 5-yard line. And return on that for the Ravens, 9B. And 9B, that is going to be, we're going to see our first big play cover result. So you'll go here to the big play chart. So again, this comes from the 15. Roll a single D10. So we're looking in the C column, and a roll of 6. That is 1-yard gain. So Baltimore is going to start this drive from their own 16-yard line as Dolphins hustling down the field. All right, drive chart once again going as a -5 and 42. That is going to be a punt. So 12, they are going to go 3 plays, 5 yards. Not a good start for the Ravens, and they'll be forced to kick it away. All right, punting for Baltimore. They are a C, and Miami on punt return is also a C. And we're going to have a potential penalty. So 12, that is not going to be a penalty, as both teams fairly well disciplined on the offensive side of the ball. So 1 on each. And punt 1C, that's a 38-yard punt. Fielded at the 41-yard line. And 1C on the return, that's going to be a fair catch. So first quarter comes to a close, and Miami holds a 7-0 lead over the Ravens. And second quarter underway. There will be 4 drives in the second quarter. Actually, my bad. There's 1 more drive in the first quarter. My mistake. So Miami up 7-0, and they're going to go into the hybrid drive mode portion. So Miami's drive offense is a 9, and again, that's based heavily on how effective their running game was in 72. Baltimore's drive defense with that spinal tap adjustment is an 11, so -2, 37 or better to sustain a drive, and I did not roll the black dice. Not going to happen. So Miami is going to be forced to kick as well. 19, and that's 4 plays, 14 yards. And that gets to the 45-yard line of Baltimore. They do not have Garo Yepremian. No way he's going to hit one from this distance. It will be over a 60-yarder. So they're going to go ahead and punt away. 45 yards out, and Miami being a C, I'm not going to use the coffin corner rule, which you take 10 yards off the result, because I do not think they are strong enough leg-wise. So punt. All right, 7C on the punt, and that is going to be a 36-yard punt. So that worked out well for the Dolphins. They have pinned Baltimore back pretty effectively. That's going to be fielded at the 9. And 0, though, that's going to be a big play on the punt return for the Ravens. Again, their punt return is an A, so Baltimore, they have the ability to pop one here as we go to the big play punt return chart. So A, you see there's a lot of tantalizing results there. And 6, that's going to be a D20 plus 20. So that's going to be a 21-yard return. So they get it out to the 30, and second quarter begins. Miami up 7-0, and Baltimore can have a little bit more success on this drive, but again, they're going to be behind the 8 ball all day offensively. They need 47 or better, and 50, they get it. So it's going to be a successful drive into enemy territory, 13. And it's going to be 6 plays, 53 yards. So that's all the way down to the Miami 17. Down in distance 5 on the 2D6 roll. Miami's defense is a 10. It's going to be 3rd and 6 from there. All right, so 3rd and 6, and again, the defense will be expecting this, so it's going to be a +1 to the trench control roll if it is a pass. 3rd and 6 and 9, that is going to be intended for Ishmael. And trench control roll, that's going to be a 3 for both. So Miami's pass defense, solid 2 stars there, and they are going to win the trench control battle. And luckily for the Ravens, though, it is 0-3, which is Miami's completion range on pass defense. So that's going to be complete to Ishmael and Jay on the play-by-play chart. Uh, 3J and that, I'm sorry, 9J. That is going to be a potential fumble. 9-yard gain. So down to the 8-yard line, and this will be the second time Baltimore's put the ball on the ground. They lost the first one. They need 11 or better to retain possession, and they lose it again. Miami takes over on their own 7, and Baltimore can't get out of their own way. Second turnover for the Ravens, and Miami now starts their next drive. All right, -2. They need 37 or better, and they get stymied again. And the Ravens defense, after basically been shredded that first time down the field, this is going to be a 3 and out, no yards gained. So Miami is going to have to punt from their own 7-yard line. So Baltimore harassing Bob Greasy, and again, punt and C for Miami, punt return A. So 1C, and that is going to be a 38-yard punt. So that's going to be fielded inside Miami territory at the 45-yard line. And 6A on the punt return. That's going to be no return, so they're going to take over there, and we're not going to have a simulated portion of the drive. When playing in hybrid mode, of course, if you start in plus territory, you go straight into play-by-play. It's probably good for Baltimore, actually. So let's see if they can maintain a drive and take care of the ball after 2 first-half fumbles here lost. And 20, they're going to come out and take a shot downfield. This is to Ayan Badejo. And again, Trent Dilfer quarterbacking for the Ravens. And trench control roll, it is going to be 1 star versus 2 stars. So Miami's going to get the win again. And this time, we're going to have a potential interception. So things continue to go from bad to worse for the Ravens here. And interception rating, it's going to be 1-18. And actually first, before we do that, we should get the yardage. So Ayan Badejo, rating N, and that is going to be a roll of 8. So that is going to be a 7-yard completion, so down to the 38-yard line, and I'm assuming it's going to be picked off. Has only 19 or 20, and that is indeed picked off. And interception return. Going to the field chart here, 4. That's going to be a 12-yard return for the Dolphins. So they get it up to midfield, and they're going to have a hybrid portion of the drive. 2 drives left in the first half. Miami trying to take advantage of yet another Baltimore miscue. And Baltimore's defense has to be growing weary, and 64. This will indeed be a successful drive, and 5. 5 from 36 to 50. That is 3 plays, 32 yards, and an automatic first down. So down to the 18, 1st and 10, and Miami looking to take, at least with the way their defense has been playing, a potentially commanding lead here. So into play-by-play mode, Baltimore's defense needs to come up big. This is going to be a run play. And Jim Kick is going to get the carry on this one. However, it's going to be a defensive win. So 0 is going to be going to the end column, and 0 on the end column is going to be a 2-yard gain. So down to the 16, 2nd down and 8. Greasy brings the team up, and 5, that's going to be a run to Larry Zonka. They're content to stick with a ground game here, and this time they're actually going to win trench control. So a roll of 1F, that's going to be a 6-yard gain for the Zonk down to the 10-yard line. That makes it 3rd down and 2. Baltimore stacking the box, expecting the run. Are they going to get the run? They are indeed going to get the run on 3rd and 1 to 2. Larry Zonka again. Why not ride the big man? And trench control. 2 stars for Miami, 2 stars for Baltimore. It's going to be a stalemate. So 8F on the stalemate, and that is still going to be a 3-yard gain. That's going to be enough for a first down, 1st and goal at the 7-yard line for Miami. Baltimore's defense really needs to stiffen up here, and they're going to continue to keep it on the ground. Mercury Morris will be the ball carrier here. It's going to be a stalemate. And stalemate 3F, that is going to be a 5-yard gain. So down to the 2. 2nd down and goal from the 2. And probably going to get Larry Zonka here. 2nd down roll. 7. And that is actually going to be Mercury Morris another time. And this time it's going to be 2 stars, 2 stars, another stalemate. But 6F, that should be enough to get it in. That is indeed a 4-yard gain, and Miami has punched it in for their 2nd touchdown on their last drive of the first half. Extra point is up and good. And Miami has taken a 14-0 lead in this one. All right, so Baltimore, they get one more drive. They've got to make something happen here, or it's going to be probably a long afternoon for the Ravens. As Miami has just rode their ground game, Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris, the big tandem here. And this kickoff is going to go potential penalty, actually 13, no penalty. So for Miami, 9C on the kickoff, that's down to the 10-yard line. And B on the kickoff return, 7. It's going to be to the 34, 24 yards on the return. Baltimore really needs a drive here, and again, it's going to be an uphill battle for them. 46, and that is right on the cusp. They get stuck. So they're going to have to punt it away to end the first half, and 9. That is going to be a 3 and out. punt team on, and Miami really can't return this for the touchdown, but still need to make sure nothing crazy happens. 8C on the punt, and that will be a 43-yarder. And all the way down to the 23-yard line, and 1 on the return for the Dolphins. 1C, and that's going to be a fair catch, and that is going to bring the first half to a close. So Miami. Story of this game, we talked about it in the lead up, was going to be turnovers, and that is exactly what the story is turning out to be. Miami up 14-0 at the half, and there'll be 10 drives in the second half. Ravens will get the second half kickoff. And switching sides on the field, let's see if that helps them at all. Here we go. All right, Miami and 2C, that's going to be a touchback, and Baltimore is going to start this drive on their own 20-yard line. 47 or better for the drive to be successful. 88, that is going to be our first look at the drive kill chart. So that would be a successful drive normally, 9. So this would either be a 5-play 40-yard drive or a 3-and-out, depending on if a penalty is incurred. So let's see what the penalty roll is. 1-8 for Baltimore to get a penalty. 18, and that's not a penalty on either team. So they're going to get credit for the 5-play 40-yard drive. So down to the 40, and down in distance, though, is going to be 3rd and 8 from there. So they obviously had one big play, and then struggled once they got into Miami territory, but we're into play-by-play mode. So our first chance for a drive kill due to penalties, and they at least dodged that bullet. They haven't dodged any of the turnover bullets yet in this one. All right, 16, and Trent Dilfer, he's going to come out throwing on first down. He's going to target Ishmael again. And trench control roll, this time, well, stalemate at least, so almost in their favor. And 5, that's going to be incomplete. It's going to be 4th down. They needed the trench control win to complete that with a roll of 5. So, kind of no man's land. The longest field goal is 51 yards. This would be a 57-yard attempt. And with the adjustments, it would be 0 to 15 to make this. I do not like those odds. I don't like going for it on 4th and 8 either. So we're going to do a coffin corner punt. -10 from the actual result. So C, no penalty there. And C, a roll of 5. That will be a 32-yard punt, so the coffin corner adjustment works out good. Comes down at the 8. Dolphins field it there. And 6C on the return, and that is going to be a fair catch at the 8. So Miami, I'm going to look to grind a little clock here and take what could be an insurmountable lead if they can march this down the field. And again, 37 or better, and nope, Baltimore's defense rises up again. Roll of 5, it's going to be 3 plays, 5 yards. So defense doing their part as 5 yards. They're going to punt from the 12-yard line or 13-yard line. So defense doing their part for the Ravens. Offense has to step up now. And this has been pretty much the defensive battle we've expected, but short fields and turnovers have doomed Baltimore so far in this one. So punt 5 C, and again punt return A. So there is the threat of something breaking there for the Ravens. It's going to be a 42-yard punt. And that is going to be fielded at the 46. And 3A on the punt return, and that is going to be a 10-yard return. So into Miami territory, 1st and 10 on the 44. We go straight to play-by-play mode as drive number 3 of the 3rd quarter. And again, I think that helps Baltimore here, since their drive offense rating is somewhat abysmal. All right, 16, and they're going to target Ishmael again on 1st down. Not good, though, for the Dolphins. Trench control rating, 2 stars, and roll of 5, 1 star. So Baltimore wins trench control on this, but roll of 8 on the pass completion, and that is going to fall incomplete, 2nd down and 10. You know, with these teams in the all-time great team set been pretty much evenly matched for the most part. It's going to come down to the breaks, which in this case is the dice rolls. So 15 on 2nd down, that is going to be another pass for Ishmael. Shannon Sharp not been targeted yet. And this again is going to be not very favorable for the Ravens. It's going to be a defensive win and a roll of 8. And that is going to be a potential sack. So 1 to 12 on the potential sack. 18, not a sack. It is incomplete. That makes it 3rd and 10. Miami will be expecting pass now, and roll of 18, and that's what they're going to get. So 3rd and 6 plus, Ian Badejo is the intended receiver on this. And 2 and a 5, so 2, and make that a 3 with the adjustment. That's going to be 1 star, and 5 is 1 star. Going to be a stalemate, but a roll of 0, that's going to be complete. So Trent Dilfer threads a tight window there, and Ian Badejo, as we go to play-by-play charts, rating of N on the stalemate. And 8, and that is going to be 7 yards, and that is going to be short of a 1st down. Going to be 4th and 3, and they're going to go for it here. They pretty much have to go for it here. All right, so 4th and 3, we use the 3rd down and 3 to 5 column, of course, and there is no adjustments here because both run and pass are an option. And 10 is going to be a pass, and finally, Shannon Sharp is going to be targeted here. So roll of 4 and roll of 2, it's going to be a defensive win, though, and that is going to fall incomplete. Miami takes over on downs at the 37-yard line, and that was a crushing result for Baltimore. So once again, the Ravens defense, which has played well today, is going to be expected to shoulder the load here. 78 minus 2, but Miami's going to have a successful drive. And you got to think that defense is going to be getting tired at this stage of the game. So from the 37, roll of 8 on the drive. I think that's an 8. Yeah. 8 on the drive. That's going to be 4 plays, 29 yards. Down to the 34, and down and distance situation 8 on the 2D10 roll. That is going to be 2nd down and 10 from there. So Miami at the Baltimore 33-yard line as we go to play-by-play mode. Let's see if they continue their diet of Zonka and Morris here. Roll of 10, and has going to be Mercury Morris indeed. Jim Kick, not getting a lot of carries in this one so far. Trench control roll, that is going to be 2 stars, 2 stars. It's going to be a stalemate. And stalemate has worked out pretty good for the Dolphins thus far in this one, 7F. And it's going to be a 5-yard gain. So 3rd down and 5, and you have to think the playbook is open here. Miami not afraid to run the ball on 3rd and medium yardage situations. And 4, that is indeed what they're going to do. And this is going to be Mercury Morris again. And it's going to be 1 star, 1 star, so another stalemate. And 4F, that is going to be a 6-yard gain. Morris powers ahead for a huge 1st down. And Baltimore, again, they have to be tiring in this one. And turnovers, once again, have been the story, like we said pre-game. So 19, and Bob Greasy is actually going to air this out, and this is going to be intended for Jim Kick out of the backfield. He's not getting many touches running the ball, so I'm going to try and get him a ball on the pass. 2 stars to 1 star offensive win. That's going to be complete. And Jim Kick as a receiver is a P. So offensive win on the pass game, and roll of P5 is 7-yard gain. So 2nd down and 3, and that is just the situation Miami wants to be in from the 14-yard line of Baltimore. And 9, and they're going to give it to Mercury Morris once again. He has been a bell cow, him and Zonka, for the Dolphins in this one. And that's going to be an offensive win, roll of 9, and we're going to have a big play. Boom. And this is probably going to score. So big play, 9F. And so this is kind of a feast or famine. It's a 2D10 roll. And so the black die will be a multiplier of 10. So you could roll a 0 and actually have a 1-yard gain on a big play possibility here. So from the 14, but that's not the case, as Morris takes it to the house from 14 yards out, and the Dolphins have gone up 21-0. An extra point is good. And Baltimore now will get their last drive of the 3rd quarter, and we'll be into quarter 4, and things are looking bleak for the boys from Baltimore. All right, Miami on the kickoff. No penalty. 2, that's going to be a touchback, so Baltimore takes over. And they 100% need a successful drive here. 47 or more, and they're going to be caught and stuffed. 6 plays, 20 yards, and they're going to have to punt. So 100% not the kind of day that Baltimore hoped for. 5C on the punt. It's going to be a 42-yard punt down to the 18-yard line. And return. 8C on the return. It's going to be a 6-yard return up to the 24, where Miami will take over. As 3rd quarter it comes to a close. 21-0, the 72 Dolphins over the 2000 Ravens. And again, can't blame Baltimore's defense. They've played well overall, but turnovers, 3 turnovers for Baltimore. Miami, though, they're going to get stuffed, and they're going to have to punt too. So 4 plays, 12 yards. And 24 up to the 36. All right, 9 on the punt, and we're going to have a big play on the return. 2nd 1 for the Ravens. Let's see if they can ignite something here. So first off, potential block. 99 was needed for the block on these 2 dice, so that's not going to be blocked. It'll be a 40-yard kick. Fielded at the 24. 0 is going to be a big play, so we'll go to the big play punt return chart. And again, Baltimore, they can take it to the house here as they are A on the punt return. So big play A, 1, and that's only going to be 18 yards, but to the 42. You say only 18, that's still a great field position for Baltimore here, and they need to pretty much score the rest of the game. So let's see, 63, they're going to have a successful drive. And D20, 18 and 18 between the 36-50, 3 plays, 28 yards, automatic first down. So down to the 30, 1st and 10 as we jump into play-by-play mode. Another promising drive for the Ravens. And 11, they're going to give this to Priest Holmes, will be the ball carrier on 1st and 10. 2 stars and 2-star stalemate. Priest Holmes is an H. So 8H on the stalemate, going to be a 2-yard gain down to the 28-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Wilford gets the play signal. And 12 on 2nd down. This is going to be a target headed towards Shannon Sharp. And trench control roll, it's going to be no stars and 1 star for the defense. Defense gets the win, incomplete, 3rd down and 8. So they're going to go for it here. It's 4-down territory for sure. And 20. Not looking good. So it's going to be intended for Jermaine Lewis. Defense wins trench control. Again, that adjustment makes that roll a 6. They would have lost trench control anyway. But roll of 1, that is going to be complete. So Jermaine Lewis, who is rated an O. Defense gets the win, but Jermaine Lewis, he is going to have a 7-yard catch, and that's going to make it 4th and 1. 100% have to go for it from the 21-yard line here of Miami. Dolphins stacking the box, 18, and they're going to come out and throw it to Ishmael. A little cross up by Dilfer, and unfortunately a terrible roll on the trench control. So that makes it 1 star. And for the Dolphins, that is going to be 2 stars. Dolphins get the win. And 4, it is incomplete. They take over on downs again. Wow. Second time that has happened. So 2 turnovers on downs and 3 turnovers. Miami now. This game is pretty much in the bag. Let's just see if Baltimore will fight to the end. And they're going to rise up. Defense, again, has played well. They're going to force another punt. Negative 2D6. So that is going to be minus 11 yards back to the 13. So Miami going in the wrong direction. They're going to have to punt from there. 2 drives left in this game. All right, HC on the punt for the Dolphins. That's going to be a 43-yarder. Fielded at the 44. And again, 5A on the punt return, and that's going to be no return. So Baltimore takes over there. 2 drives left in the game, and Baltimore 67. They're going to have another successful roll. And roll of 10. That is going to be 4 plays, 28 yards, automatic first down. Score 72. So down to the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Let's see if they can get out of this game with some dignity about them. Trent Dilfer out. Has not had the kind of day he would have hoped for. And 18 is going to be a pass intended for Taylor. 4 and 5, so pass defense is 1 star. It's going to be a stalemate, and 5 on the stalemate chart is going to be incomplete. So second down and 10. We're in 2-minute mode now, so everything is coming off the 3rd and 6+ chart. There are no adjustments unless you get to a 3rd and 6+ in this case. All right, so 9, and this is going to be intended for Ishmael. And 4 and 5, that's going to be 1 star, 1 star, another stalemate, and 7 is going to be incomplete again. 3rd and 10. Another stalemate. Actually, no. It's going to be a defensive win. And 4, that falls incomplete. 4th and 10. Obviously, they have to go for it here. And 20, this is going to be targeted for Jermaine Lewis, meaning Dilfer had to check down. And this will be a stalemate. 9. Stalemate 9 is going to be a possible sack, and if it's not a sack, it will be incomplete, and ball will be turned over on downs. It is indeed a sack, though. Yardage lost 5. And Miami takes over for the last drive of this game, a game in which their defense has been absolutely suffocating. And again, Baltimore made a lot of mistakes. So let's see if the Baltimore defense can get another stop. Again, they've played well today in terms of getting stops. Their offense just has not helped them out. They're not going to get a stop this time, though, as this will be a successful drive for Miami. They're just looking to pour it on now. And 14, and that is going to be 5 plays, 43 yards. All the way down to the 24-yard line. Down in distance 7 is going to be 1st and 10 from there. So 1st and 10 from the 24, and Miami, when they've gotten into play-by-play mode, they have not been stopped in this one. So it's going to be a trench control win for the Dolphins as they are running the ball. And again, going back to Mercury Morris. So 5F, it's going to be a 5-yard gain, 2nd down and 5. They've relied on Morris a lot in the second half here, and in a roll of 8, it's going to be to Morris again. I'm sorry, roll of 9 is to Morris again. So 6s, this is going to be a stalemate, and 2F. Still a 7-yard gain, and another 1st down to the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 as the Dolphins looking to drive the proverbial nail into the coffin. Already up 21-0. And 7, and Zonk is going to get a touch here. 3 and 2, it's going to be 2 stars, 2 stars, stalemate, and another roll of 2F, and that's another 7-yard gain down to the 5-yard line. 2nd down and 3 for the Dolphins. Baltimore really needs something big here, and are they going to get it? No, this will be another stalemate result. 13 on 2nd down, and actually this is going to be no Mercury Morris once again. So 7F on the stalemate. That's a 5-yard gain, and that is, I'm going to do the measurement here. So 11 or less, it is stopped. 12 or more, it is a touchdown and stopped right on the goal line. 3rd down, inches from the goal line. Miami, are they going to take a knee here? Nope, they're going to try and ram one in. 3rd down. And 9, it's going to be Larry Zonka. Who else would you? I'm sorry, not Larry Zonka. Mercury Morris again. Morris. has gotten the majority of the lion's share of the carries today. However, it's going to be a defensive win. Roll of 0 going to chart N, and that's probably not going to be enough to keep them out. That's actually, he's into the end zone, but there is a fumble, and we talked about fumbles earlier. 1-19, they're going to lose the ball, and Baltimore forces a fumble at the end of the game, and they keep Miami out of the end zone. Again, maintaining a little bit of dignity, but a 21-0 Miami win in our first showcasing of the all-time great teams. So we did see a little bit of everything, and again, as we talked about, turnovers played huge into this game. Baltimore lost 2 fumbles through an interception. Miami lost that irrelevant fumble late in the game. So 4 turnovers. Both defenses played well, especially Miami's, which was, again, very opportunistic. And Baltimore, when they could keep Miami out of play-by-play mode, Miami is just tough with that running game and play-by-play mode. So they wore them down a little bit, took advantage of short fields, and escaped with a victory. So that's going to be it. So Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. And again, I'll be involving some additional people in beta testing here shortly. Still have some things I want to confirm and check on my own before I release it. But to look at where we're at, and our first look at a couple of the all-time great teams, which will be included with a base set. Again, Glory Days Pro Football in development and will be released early in 2024. So hope you all have a good night. Happy Sunday, and we'll see you later. Take care. Keep on rolling.